Hi everybody, it's Jenny from Fernie Hollow. Welcome back. I've been wanting to make some belly bands for a little while now because I have none, and I wanted to use my Basketweave text technique, I guess you'd call it, because it's fun and I like the way it looks, and I just thought maybe somebody else would enjoy it too. So I have already made this bit. What I do is I get several different kinds of book pages, and I like them to have different colors, different size fonts, so they're all different. And I cut them into squares, and the easiest way to keep the squares uniform, and I have tried cutting them and ripping them and all of that, is to use good old-fashioned paper punch. Okay? So if you just find a square punch that you have, it doesn't matter what size it is, and punch. I like to punch in places where it's dense typeface. I like to leave out these gaps and things, and dialogue. Dialogue is hard because there's all this white space, as they call it, even though it's not white. So what I used was this this square, which is, I don't know, 1.5 inches square. This one's 1.75 inches. This is an old punch from good old Creative Memories from back in the day. I've had it forever, and it works great. So what I do is I get in here, I find pages where I have dense text, dense uniform text. Try to do it straight along the line of the text. Ooh. And then I've got several different ones here. We go on and we do gluing. And so here's how I glue it. Over, under kind of thing. So the text, alternate the direction of the text and keep them uniform. So if I've got horizontal here that reads the proper direction, and the vertical ones read up and down. So don't switch them and turn them around and stuff. You'll see what I mean. And I have this, what was this glue called? You know, the smelly stuff. Finally put it in the piping bottle. Okay, so I'm turning this text. This one runs horizontal. This one runs vertical. And when they're running vertical, they all need to run in the same direction. So I wouldn't do it this way because that text reads that way, and you'll get it. You'll get it. You'll see what I mean. Okay, and this one is a French grammar book from 1912 or something. I don't know. It's old. It's old. I love it very much. I took a heck of a lot of French in school. So, you know, that's good because you can get more questions right, more clues on the crossword puzzle, right? So, and what I'm gluing onto, okay, so we're going to run this the same direction. What I'm gluing onto is food box, okay? What we used to call TV dinners. Long, long time ago. Come on, thing. Oh, no. Hope everybody's okay. I have not been okay, but I am much more better now. A little case of strep. All right, so let's see. So try not to put the same thing next to itself. All right, and then we'll trim when we need it. So that's cool, and then we'll cut it down into 2 or 3 pieces. And that serves as the base for your belly band. Okay, so then I thought, well, what do you do next? Well, good old watercolors is what you do next. And this is a set that I got from Hobby Lobby many years ago, I think. And just And you know, if when you're doing your basket weave pattern, if you find out, like I did, that you have screwed up your pattern by putting 2 of the same orientation side by side, just ever so carefully glue new squares over them and correct it. It's okay. Or don't. Or just leave it. Right? So the reason why doing a terrible job at painting, because I have in mind what's going to happen on this piece of the book page. A little more orange. So we'll let that dry for a few minutes. Just give it a couple minutes. And meanwhile, I don't know how many of you have lots of leftovers from scrapbooking. And this is one of these vellum quotes. And it turns out that my double-sided tape has gone yellow. And so I'm not going to use it. But I hear that that's the best way to do it so you don't see the tape through the vellum. The glue, of course, you'll see, and it will buckle it. So what I'm maybe going to do is sew it. And I think what I need to do is to trim this a little bit because it's a little too big. So I'm just gonna take a sliver off each side. I know, yes, there are people out there who are really good at tearing with the ruler, and I'm just not. So I have a good old X-Acto knife. I'm going to leave room for a line of stitching to go around. Okay. Put the top back on your knife. Okay, find home. So that's going to go there. I'm going to stitch around it, and I have this block stamp, also not new. Not new. What I wanted was to put that behind I think it needs to be in black. I had thought I was going to use the brown, but I think it won't stand out enough. So let's let this dry for a minute. I tell you what, I'm going to give this a few minutes to dry, and I will be back with you, okay? So sit tight. Okay, I think that we are dry now. So I am going to ink up my little boot prints. Put them on here. Alright, yay! And then I'm going to take this into the other room where the sewing machine is. Go around the edge, and I'll be back, so stand by. Okay, all sewn up. Oh, I think it looks great. It's funny how the sewing just adds so much to a piece. And I'm going to trim those a little bit. And so then, I guess we're going to you don't have to have a vellum quote like this. They probably don't even make them anymore, but you can type one in and print it onto vellum, or find some pretty stickers or rubber stamps and make something beautiful. I've got now I'm going to do a good old ink job here. And so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut it into belly bands and do something else. No, and I didn't get it straight, so that's why we have a little bubble there. That's why we have a bubble. Sometimes that happens. So I think... how about... I like that on the back because it's appropriate. It's, you know, from the sublime to the ridiculous. I'm going to use a slot punch on this one. And I don't know. Yeah, I said it was a belly band or a bookmark. I don't know. Might be something completely different. So let's be prepared. And I always like to put a ribbon in them if they're a bookmark. That's great. This is for an album for someone who's a hiker and a lover of the great outdoors. So I thought it needed to be done. Finally, after 25 years, this little vellum thing was ready. Okay, anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.